Okay, easy enough. Let's talk about different tags. So let's say I want to make this word paragraph in bold. I can use a tag for that. All I have to do is enclose this word in an opening and closing. So opening at the left-hand side and closing at the right-hand side. And the name of the element we're going to use is strong. So less than, the name of the element is strong, greater than. You notice it autocompletes for me. That's because this environment is kind of smart and it tries to always add a closing tag for me. But be careful with that. The closing should be on the right-hand side after you finish writing the thing you want to make strong. Always write the slash there for the closing tag, and the name of the element has to match the same name as the opening tag. So I'm going to click run in the top left. And if you notice, the word paragraph is now in bold. If the text is too small for you to see, let me know and I'll make it bigger. Otherwise, I'll keep going. All right. So let's talk about emphasis tag. Let's say, typically the way a strong manifests is by being bold by default. So these are the default styles that the browser provides, okay? Every browser will have different default visual for every HTML element. So usually when we use strong, it appears as bold. And then there's another one that's like to emphasize some word. It usually appears as italics, the slanted. Let's try that one. Let's say the second paragraph here, the word paragraph, I want to emphasize that. So I'm going to less than, EM, greater than, and then write the word. And then don't forget the closing tag, less than, slash, and then EM and greater than. EM stands for emphasis. So when I click run in the top left, you can see the word paragraph is now italicized or slanted. Okay, that's the way it manifests visually by the browser default style. In case anybody's wondering about the style, they can be changed with CSS. That's something I cover in a different session. But any style in a document can be changed or overridden with CSS. But for now, just deal with the default browser style. Okay, so we learned the P tag for paragraph. We learned the strong tag for bold. We learned the emphasis tag for italics. Back in the days, in the early days of the web, we also used different tags for bold and italics. And instead of strong, we would say B. So if I change the opening and closing name to B, this is how it manifests. Visually is the same thing. So if you ever see this B tag, that's what it means. It's the bold tag. But these days, people like using the strong because it's called a semantic tag, has more meaning. Okay, meaning you want to make this a strong word. And the same way for emphasize. Emphasize, typically we used to use I. So instead of EM, we use I. I stands for italics. And that's how it manifests, same way visually. But again, people like to be more semantic these days, meaning they want to add more meaning to what the tag really means. Because italics by itself doesn't really mean it's emphasis or strong, depending on how the design for a website is, You're not always going to see strong as a bold and emphasis as italics. Anybody could change that. So the EM and strong lets the computer know, there's going to be a lot of computer, like the search engines, they'll be reading your documents and analyzing them. So they will understand, okay, this word is meant to be strong and that one is emphasized no matter what style it is, whether it's italics or bold.